Hello everyone. In the previous videos, if you remember, I told you about the elastic recoil of lungs and your chest wall. I told you that the elastic recoiling forces of lung is towards your interior, towards the inside, and the elastic recoil of chest wall is towards outside. But how they are balanced? So if they are recoiling inside and outside, what is the force that is balancing this thing? That we will discuss in today's video. So under this heading, pressures across the respiratory system. We last class we have discussed about pressures in respiratory system. Now this is pressures across the respiratory system. Now, what is transmural pressure? Let's take a spherical object. Okay, there is pressure inside, pressure outside. The difference between these pressures, so the pressure acting on the wall of this sphere is nothing but the transmural pressure, that is pressure inside minus pressure outside. If this transmural pressure is positive, that means inside pressure is more than outside pressure, then the sphere expands, that means sphere distends. If the transmural pressure is negative, that means inside pressure is less than the outside pressure, then the sphere collapses, that means it decreases in size. Okay, let's take the cross section of our lungs. Assume our lungs being spherical structures which can expand and collapse. Similarly, our chest wall, we will see. So the transmural pressure across the lung wall, we also call it as transpulmonary pressure. So the pressure acting across the wall of the lung. What is inside lung? It is alveoli. So at functional residual capacity, we have alveolar pressure. We discussed in previous video. It is equal to atmospheric pressure, that is 760 millimeters of mercury, or else relatively it is zero. Relative pressure is zero. At the same time, the pressure outside the lung, immediately outside the lung, is your pleural space. The pressure inside pleura is known as pleural pressure. So inside pressure is alveolar pressure, outside pressure is pleural pressure for your lung. So the transpulmonary pressure, also known as transmural pressure acting across the lung wall, is transpulmonary pressure is equal to PA, inside pressure minus PPL, outside pleural pressure. If you remember, the pleural pressure is always a negative pressure. In all physiological conditions, it is a negative pressure except during forced expiration, except during your forced expiration. So let's assume this is the cross section of lung. Outside lung is your pleural cavity. So the transmural pressure across the lung wall, or also known as transpulmonary pressure, is alveolar pressure minus pleural pressure. That we gives you transpulmonary pressure. So we will see different scenarios. Now, at the functional residual capacity, that means at the end of quiet expiration, what is the alveolar pressure? Relativity is zero. Intrapleural pressure, it is minus 2 millimeters of mercury. So PA minus PI, but if you see 0 minus of minus 2, intrapleural pressure is always negative. So how much it will become? Plus 2. Plus means it is a descending pressure. That means it is a descending pressure. PL is plus, means the lung distance. So during inspiration, we remember that chest wall expands, pulling parietal pleura, reducing intrapleural pressure drops to minus 6. And when the lung tissue is pulled, the intraalveolar pressure also drops to minus 1. Minus 1 minus of minus 6, that is around plus 5 mm. So don't worry about this amount of pressure, worry about this sign. It is plus. That means here also transpulmonary pressure is descending pressure. Even during expiration, same during expiration, intraalveolar pressure rises more than the atmospheric pressure. Even the intrapleural pressure will go back to 0, minus 1, minus 2, 0, whatever it might be, minus of, if it is minus 2, it will be again plus value, again 0, it is of plus value. So during expiration also it is a positive pressure. What happens during forced expiration? This is the only condition where intrapleural pressure will become positive. During forced expiration, because of the compressing forces on the chest, that means during forced expiration, your accessory muscles of expiration work, like your abdominal muscles work, your internal intercostal muscles work. They compress the chest cavity, they compress your lung tissue. So the alveolar pressure inside the lung will become very high. It also increases more than the increase in intrapleural pressure. So plus 30 will be your alveolar pressure, plus 15 will be your intrapleural pressure. 30 minus 50. Here also it is a distending pressure. So under any physiological condition, your transpulmonary pressure is a positive pressure. That means it is always distending pressure. So because the elastic recoil forces are towards interior of the lung, towards the interior of the lung, orientation of elastic fibers, being it an elastic tissue, it always try to collapse. But this distending transpulmonary pressure always keeps your lung from collapse. Even at FRC, it keeps lung from collapse. Even at residual volume, it is still positive. It keeps your lungs from collapse. So these are all under normal physiological conditions. So now let's see, we are taking pressure in the lower x-axis, volume of the lung on the y-axis. We inflated our lung till total lung capacity. Total lung capacity, that means around 6 liters. Let's say 100% of the lung capacity, that is around 6 liters. And we slowly deflated back. Now we are measuring the transpulmonary pressure, and we plotted that transpulmonary pressure on the graph. So at FRC, that means during quite after the finishing quite expiration, that means around 2.4 liters air is left in your lungs. You can see the transpulmonary pressure at FRC. Volume is around 35% of your total lung capacity, and pressure is somewhere around 8 centimeters of water, less than 8 centimeters of water. And one more thing, if you see the transpulmonary pressure, it is always towards positive side. It is always plus. Okay, when you convert 1 mm of Hg, it will be somewhere around 2 centimeters of water to 2.5 centimeters of water. So leave about the units, it is always towards the positive side. This under any physiological condition will not shift towards negative side. Okay, this is transpulmonary pressure. That is nothing but your alveolar pressure minus intrapleural pressure. We inhaled deep till total lung capacity, we exhaled, and we recorded this pressure difference on a map. So two things, what are the take home messages? It is always towards positive side. It is always towards the positive side. It is never going towards negative side. Even it is never becoming zero. It is not going till zero. So always it is a distending pressure. Even at residual volume, even at the residual volume, there is some amount of transpulmonary pressure. Even at minimal value, minimal volume, there is another concept, minimal volume, that is half of the residual volume. That is the minimum amount of air till which lung can be reduced, lung can be collapsed. Even at that condition, still the transpulmonary pressure is positive. Now what about chest wall? So the transmural pressure across the chest wall, same like your transpulmonary pressure. Transmural pressure across chest wall is inside pressure minus outside pressure. What is inside chest wall? Immediately it is pleural cavity. What is outside chest wall? It is your atmosphere. EB is nothing but your barometric pressure. So let's say this is your chest wall. This brown color circle is your chest wall. Blue one is your inner lining of the pleural cavity. So this is pleural space, chest wall, and outside atmosphere. So inside pressure minus outside pressure, pleural pressure minus outside atmospheric pressure. So Pleural pressure is always negative. Leave about forced expiration condition. In all other physiological condition, pleural pressure is always negative. So if negative minus anything will give you negative results. So chest wall, transmural pressure across the chest wall will be, in most of the conditions, it is always negative. Negative means it is a collapsing pressure. It is a collapsing pressure. Chest wall has a transmural pressure which is collapsing pressure. We discussed previous videos, because of the direction of elastic fiber, the chest wall always try to expand. Chest wall always try to expand. If it is unchecked, it will expand. What is the force that is checking this expansion? Is your negative transmural pressure across the chest wall. This is always collapsing pressure. Okay, if this is not there, chest wall will expand outwards. Similarly, your lung, it will expand inside, it will collapse inside, but because of the transpulmonary pressure being always positive, it is a distending pressure. So these are the forces which are balancing the elastic recoil forces of your lungs and also chest wall. But if you see intrapleural pressure, this pressure being negative is very, very important for making transpulmonary pressure positive, balancing the collapsing recoil forces of lung, and making the transmural pressure across chest wall negative, okay, which is causing the collapse of the chest wall, which is balancing the elastic outward recoil of the chest wall. You watch this video in loop, then you will easily understand what I am talking. No need to panic, just watch the video in loop. Now, same graph, we are plotting the transmural pressure across the chest wall. We inhale till total lung capacity, and then we will exhale. So at functional residual capacity, the transmural pressure across the chest wall is towards negative side. That means it is a collapsing pressure. What about the elastic recoiling of chest wall? It is towards outward. So that is balanced by your inward. See, at FRC, there is no movement. There is no movement of chest wall or no movement of lung. But the outward elastic recoil of the chest wall is balanced by the inward transmural pressure of the chest wall. Only at higher lung volumes, it is positive. Higher lung volumes, it is positive. Let's say it is like forced expiration. Okay, these lung volumes will occur only during forced inspiration, forced expiration. Leave about that, we are not bothered about this. We are bothered only about FRC values. At functional residual capacity, it is negative. That means the force is towards inwards, which balances the elastic outward recoil of your chest wall. Now, then the pressure across the respiratory system. We are talking about entire respiratory system. It is nothing but sum of pressures across the lungs, pressures across the chest wall. So that is PRS is equal to PL plus PW, chest wall pressure, lung pressure. Finally, you will get, it is nothing but alveolar pressure minus barometric pressure, because PPL get cancelled. Whatever it might be, if you think it is inside of the lungs to the entire outside of the chest wall, that is inside alveolar pressure and outside barometric pressure. So if you draw pressures across the respiratory system, the graph is somewhat in between the lung wall and transpulmonary and trans chestway pressures. Higher lung volumes, it is positive side. That means above FRC, it is towards positive side. Below FRC, it is negative side. What is important is at FRC, the respiratory pressure across the entire respiratory system is zero. If you remember, at FRC, the alveolar pressure is equal to barometric pressure. Alveolar pressure is equal to barometric pressure. So 0 minus 0. The pressure across the entire respiratory system is 0. There is no movement at FRC after quiet expiration. So watch the next video. I am giving gap here.